Hey everybody, it's Mahoney. I'm coming to you with another Tuesday tip, sometime Wednesdays, sometimes on Wednesdays. We had a thing going on at the office last night, so I couldn't do it. So now I'm doing it tonight. So last time I talked about coverage and the coverage on your automobile insurance. In a week, I had somebody come in who got in a terrible wreck several years ago, only had 100, 300 coverage. The person that hit them only had 25 coverage. And they had their own business. And this is somebody who was making really good money, but didn't have sufficient coverage because they wanted to save money. You know, those apps on your phone where you can get insurance for less. And as a result, they ended up broke. They ended up on public aid because all their money went to medical bills. They couldn't make a living, so they had debts and they didn't have anything to take care of their wages. So look at those policies and make sure that you have sufficient insurance coverage. And I know some people posted different companies that you could get the umbrellas with, Pekin, and I think General Casualty got posted there. I think MetLife is one of them. Anybody that wants to post that, or also if you have any questions on any of this stuff or any comments, please post your comments and your questions and I'll be happy to address them. Tonight we're going to talk about life insurance. That's another thing that I see on people, my generation, my age and younger. They simply do not purchase life insurance. And I really don't understand why, but they don't. I see people who die suddenly in their 40s and their 50s, and they've got kids still in college, and they got younger kids, and they got grandkids, and they have no life insurance whatsoever. And they leave their spouses stuck with mortgages and debts, and they've got cars, and they've got jet skis, and they got Harley Davidson motorcycles, and they got AK-47s, but they don't have any life insurance. So your life insurance should be sufficient to pay off all of your debts, your mortgage on your house and your vehicles. And if you're the primary breadwinner, you should be looking at, I think, 5 times your annual salary at least. And if you're in your 30s, you can buy $500,000 of term life insurance for next to nothing. It'll cost you like $50 a month. You can get up to $1 million. And then that life insurance, as long as you keep paying it, you can hang on to it. So what do I mean by all that? All right, well, let's learn a little bit about life insurance. First of all, there's 2 kinds. There's whole life insurance and there's term life insurance. The way the sales guys talk about this is they say term is for if you die and whole is for when you die. So what do they mean by that? Well, term life insurance is usually a larger policy for a smaller amount of money. So it's like you can get like $500,000 or $750,000 for $100 a month, maybe, if you're in your 30s and in good health. Those policies usually last for about 20 years and they don't do anything unless you happen to pass away. If you don't pass away, the policy goes away and you get nothing. So it's an insurance policy in case some sort of tragedy happens. Whole policies, why I put the $ here, is whole policies increase in value over time. And they keep going for as long as you live. So a whole policy is actually not only life insurance, but it's an investment vehicle. And they're not a bad investment vehicle. They're very conservative. It's a smaller return, but you pay quarterly or monthly and it gets you to guarantee pay. And the amount of the life insurance is going to be less. So like the $100 a month might only get you $50,000 in life insurance for a whole policy, but that policy is not going to go away at the end of 20 years. And it's going to continue to gain in value over that period of time. And as you keep paying it, the value of the policy is going to continue to go up. So like if you get a whole policy when you're 25, and maybe you only get $50,000 or $100,000 in life insurance, if you live a normal lifespan, by the time you're 70, that policy could have an actual value of several $100,000. And life insurance, when you pass that on, is tax-free. So this is not only coverage for your family, but also a way to guarantee you're going to pass on money at the end, and it's an investment vehicle for you. So when I first started out practicing law, I got small whole policies, like $20,000 whole policies, and then I got larger term policies in the event that there was some sort of accident. Now, that started when I was 25. As I started to get into my later 40s and 50s, I was able to do something with those policies. So if you're Catholic and you want life insurance, you should go to the Knights of Columbus to get your life insurance. That's why the Knights of Columbus started, was because the Irish were too poor to bury their dead. So a monk in Connecticut started a deal where the Irish guys would all agree that if one of their family members died, they would all pool their money and they would bury that person. And that started the Knights of Columbus. So the Knights of Columbus is actually a life insurance company, and they're a non-for-profit life insurance company. I had several Knights of Columbus policies that were term policies that were coming due as I was approaching 50. And I was able to convert those policies into whole policies. So if I could make all the payments that I would have made as though it was a whole policy, I did not have to do any type of medical. I didn't have to go to the doctor. And I got all the gain on that policy as though I'd been paying it as a whole policy the entire time. That was a great opportunity to create another investment vehicle and something to pass on. And that way I had it in case I died until I was in a position where I could invest in a different way for when I die. So now those policies have been converted over. I know that there's some other companies that have similar opportunities for you out there. So go take a look at your life insurance. If you've got a $250,000 mortgage and you got a couple of cars, you should at least have $500,000 so that if something happens to you, your spouse can pay off all the debts. Because I mean, think about it. Most households have two incomes. And if all of a sudden one of those incomes are gone, are you going to be able to live the same lifestyle? Are you going to be able to put your kids through college? And a basic term policy just isn't going to cost you very much money. And then as you get older, you can look into maybe converting that policy into a whole policy, which becomes a nice investment vehicle. Those term policies that I had that I've now converted, that's turned into a guaranteed savings, a guaranteed inheritance that I now can continue to put money into on a quarterly basis and invest in a nice conservative, simple way to invest and still have the guarantee of life insurance. Pull out your life insurance and take a look at it. Everybody needs to have it. If you have kids and you don't have life insurance that's well in the couple $100,000 mark, you need to get more. Any questions? Give me a call or put something down on this video. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a great night.